What I'm going to cook today is a vegan roast dinner with roast potatoes, nut roast, broccoli and vegan red wine gravy. Okay, so what I'm going to start with is the nut roast, and I'm going to add to a mixing bowl some tamari soy sauce, a good splot of that, or you can use yeast extract. I'm going to use a little bit of both on this occasion. I'm just boiling the kettle there. That's Natex yeast extract, which I think is probably the best. And it's not made by Unilever like Marmite is. I'm going to add a little bit of hot water to make this into a stock. Then I'm going to add some onions, which I softened earlier. I actually softened them with a little bit of cayenne pepper, which just adds a little piquancy, but you can use black pepper or whatever you like. Now I'm going to add some chopped mixed nuts. That's probably enough. And some breadcrumbs. It's just bread crumbed in the mixer. Quite a lot of those because they help it to bind. I'm going to mix it all up. And add extra water as it's required. A little bit more, I think. By the time it's all mixed, the mixture should be quite slack. Now I'm going to add some sage. You can use mixed herbs if you haven't got sage, it's just whatever you like. I think sage works well in this. That's probably about the right consistency. It's slightly slack, but not too much. Just oil a dish. Just using olive oil, or you can use rapeseed oil, whichever you prefer. And just, my hands are clean, I have just washed them. Just mixing the oil around in the dish. Just pour the mixture into the dish. You can use a loaf tin, or you can use a flat dish like this, whatever you prefer. I'm only making a small amount here, so let's do a flat dish. In a minute I'm going to put this in the oven when I've done the roast potatoes. For the roast potatoes, again some oil, olive oil or rapeseed oil. They're the best ones because they've got omega-3s, and well, in the case of olive oil it's quite neutral. So a little olive oil, a bit more than that. I add a little bit of haldi, which is turmeric. It is a little bit golden and yellow, but not too much, just a very tiny amount. Then a very small amount of tamari soy sauce. It just gives them a little bit of flavour. I prefer using it to using salt. I think it works better. a nicer flavour, and it's just preferable. Then I take some potatoes, which are parboiled, well actually they're par-steamed, and I just pour them into the oil and tamari and holding mixture and just stir them around to get them coated in it. Once they're all coated in it, I just put them on a roasting dish. Then I put them into a preheated oven with the nut roast. Electric mark 200, I think that's about gas mark 6. Okay, now I'm going to do the gravy. Start with a little bit of oil. Doesn't need too much. The pan is on electricity number 4. Then I'll add a little bit of red wine. And a little bit of tamari soy sauce. Actually, quite a good glug of that. You can use yeast extract if you prefer, but I'm using tamari. Just heat that for a little while. Actually, I think I need a little bit more red wine. Then I'm going to add some cranberry jelly. Just a little bit of that cranberry jelly. It sweetens it very nicely. Gives it a very rich flavour, that and the tamari. Keep stirring it till the cranberry jelly melts. Then when the cranberry jelly is melted, add a little bit of arrowroot that has been mixed with cold water. Important to do it with cold water, it just mixes in better that way. I prefer arrowroot to corn flour because it makes it a clear gravy, whereas corn flour will make it a slightly cloudy gravy, so will wheat flour. So my preference is arrowroot, it's just white. You can get it in most supermarkets. And then all you do is keep stirring it for a few minutes until the arrowroot makes the gravy thicken up. You need to add some hot water, otherwise we'll get a very rich gravy. And just keep stirring until it's thick and rich and lovely. Okay, half an hour later, the potatoes should look something like this. The nut roast should look something like that. And I've steamed some broccoli. So now I'm just going to add it all to the plate. There's the broccoli. And the nut roast. This is a very flat nut roast. You can do it any way you like, really. You can do a deep one. It's nice and crusty when it's flat though. There's the nut roast. Here's some of the roast potatoes. And that's how it looks before I put on the gravy. Now I'm just going to add the gravy. Just pour it all over. And that's your Christmas nut roast.